Hello everyone, I'm Survi Arora and I'm welcoming you today to my session on zero investment in education. This is part of the series that we have been running about best practices in education. And earlier we were able to interact with a beautiful friend from Hyderabad who allowed us to know more about the best practices we can adopt during COVID-19 in our homes with toddlers. And then we also had these sessions with certain educators letting us know more about methodologies in which they are practicing things to make this very situation quite comfortable. Recently, we had a session with global educators and they shared their interest level and their practices in countries like Russia, US, United States of America, then Italy. So we had educators from almost 8 countries participating in session. Now, while we have been discussing about many things about educators from various parts of the country or countries, I must say, the globe, it is of quite an interest that I want to introduce you to an educator I recently came across while we were discussing a normal discussion on education and best practices was there. And I came to know about this educator who has been practicing education about zero investment in education. I would like to continue with my introduction of Shashank, and I never wanted to mess it up because the dynamic personality he carries needs more dedicated description. So about Shashank, he has been taking up training sessions in schools pan-India level. The concept I loved about was that how they are actually exchanging information among schools. So I have a best practice, you have a best practice, and how do you exchange that information? I've always loved this quote by Albert Einstein that you have an apple, and I'm pretty sure it's Albert Einstein who has said that, but I have an apple and you have an apple, and we exchange those apples. We have one apple each. But if I have an idea and you have an idea and we exchange those ideas, we have 2 ideas each. So this practice of exchanging information is something which I love a lot about. Now, I don't want to waste any more of your time and stealing of your time with Shashank in discussion. So please, Shashank, welcome to the session, and I would love to know more about the scope that I have discussed right now about zero investment in education to begin with.
Thank you, Surbi, for having me over here. And it's always a pleasure to be with educators and teachers across the country, and not only country, but across the world. Because whatever we all are today is because of the teachers. And so scope, if you talk about, it's like starting from zero till the max you can think about it. And we call it Shunya se Shikhar tak. That is how we mention it.
Okay, so I would like to know more about when we talk about this zero investment in education. क्या आप बताना चाहेंगे कि किस तरह से you are helping out educators? What is this complete concept of zero investment in education? Can you just help us in more details about it?
Sure. To start up this program, which is under an umbrella program called Rupantar, which is an initiative by Sri Aurobindo Society, and it's a CSR project by HDFC Parivartan. So this all started in 2016 when we oriented teachers in Uttar Pradesh, and around for 6 lakh teachers we oriented there. And we were surprised to see that teachers have solution to all the problems like how to increase attendance, how to get students to the school. And I'm talking about government schools, how to get that community which is quite underprivileged and uneducated, how to bring them to the school instead of bringing school to them, how to bring that. And the best part which came out was it was zero investment. They were using the available resources with them and getting the problem solved. So that point of time, this entire program came up. Why not to share these ideas with other educators across the globe so that they can also get benefited out of it? The idea sharing platform, and this is called ZIIEi, that is Zero Investment Innovations for Education Initiative. And this program is tagged as from the teachers, for the teachers, by the teachers.
For the teachers, by the teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shashank, can you just let me know a bit about more about that? When I talk about this program, what about a small practice? I want to know any practice that you have done which has brought difference due to the exchange of knowledge that you're talking about. That you have done in
For sure. Yes, for sure. एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है लूडो. हम सब लूडो बचपन से खेलते आए हैं. अब एक ऐसा विद्यालय जहाँ पे संसाधन नहीं है या रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, at that point of time you utilized Ludo to make students of class 1, 2 and maybe 3, 4 to understand numbers, colors, English, letters, Hindi, English, calculations like multiplication, division, subtraction, and that too without investing. So उन्होंने किया क्या, उन्होंने एक बोर्ड लिया, उस पर लूडो डिजाइन किया और सांप सीढ़ी बनाया, दोनों चीजें. So instead of using those beads, गिटर जिसे बोलते हैं, जिससे हम खेलते हैं, dice, he used students. उन्होंने 4 बच्चे लिए, अलग अलग शर्ट के पहना दी और उसको उस पर यूज किया, और एक डाइस, एक माचिस का बॉक्स, एक मैच बॉक्स लेकर उसको डाइस बना दिया in the school using the available resources. And अब एग्जाम्पल है कि आई स्टार्टेड एंड आई एम स्टैंडिंग, मैं 4 पे खड़ा हूँ, मैंने 4 मेरा आया, मैं पिछले अंक पे 4 पे बढ़ गया, अब मेरी अगली आता है 5. तो बिफोर आई मूव ऑन टू वैल्यू 5, आई हैव टू आंसर सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस. अब 2 टीम खड़ी हैं, 2 आधे बच्चे इधर डिवाइडेड है, आधे दूसरी तरफ डिवाइडेड है उन 4 के अलावा, एंड आई हैव टू आंसर लाइक व्हाट इज 4 + 5, व्हाट इज 9 स्पेल्ड इन इंग्लिश, हाउ विल यू स्पेल इट इन इंग्लिश, 9 को हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं, आपकी जो खाना है उसका कलर क्या है, आप इसको मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो क्या होगा. इफ यू आंसर यू मूव, इफ यू डोंट आंसर यू डोंट मूव. सो इट इंक्रीज इंटरेस्ट इन द स्टूडेंट्स, कि उनको तो लग रहा था कि वो खेल खेल रहे हैं, सर या मैम कुछ खेल खिला रहे हैं, लेकिन वो सीख रहे थे. एंड दिस इज हाउ जीरो इन्वेस्टमेंट इज हेल्पिंग एवरीबडी. एंड you would be surprised to know that this practice has been adopted by more than 3 lakh schools in India, and they are using it.
I would love to have a video of the same, or maybe a picture of the same, and I want to write about it in my blog. For sure. Okay, you have one.
I have one. I'll show you. See, this is how they are using it. You can see that.
Okay, that's actually amazing, and I'm still surprised that why all of us are still we don't have this collection of information that you are carrying over there, and why we are deprived of this knowledge, which should be made available not just to government schools but also to schools pan-India level, because I know there are many schools who don't have the budgets for this specific games. They don't have the budget for that modern type of education that we run these days, or I would say advanced type of education, because modern education can be a different thing. So maybe this type of collection of information can be a benefit for all of them. Okay, Shashank, I would also like to know more about you. That the other day we were having a discussion about there are certain schools which are deprived of the investment part. See, पढ़ाई करने के लिए कुछ बेसिक रिसोर्सेज की जरूरत है. At times you need books, at times you need notebooks, at times the furniture which becomes a challenge in these government schools. And we also know that there are other parameters which deprive these kids of the complete learning process. So when we talk about this zero investment in education, do you also come across practices which teachers have adopted in facing these challenges?
Obviously, if we talk about the government schools, they are, I should say, they have one of the best teachers in the country and in the world, most educated part of the teachers. And we all know, due to certain reasons, it happens that books or the copies are not reaching the students or the schools at time. So a beautiful idea came up where a teacher came up with an idea called book bank or a copy bank. So what they did, they requested the students who passed out the class to submit their old books and the copies which were left around with the pages in the school, and that were used by the next class without any investment. So that's what I said, the teachers came up with the solution they have by themselves without any investment. And this please.
No, I just want to listen to you. See, I love this idea. I always say that every school has their own individual problem. So the problem is more individual. It may be drafted at a national level, but we all have our own challenges based on our own resources and availability at our homeland. So did you ever feel that these practices, like you told me that this exchange of book bank that happened, so these practices get extra. So how did this community, total community, help out each other in making sure that these individual problems are taken care of?
See, it is all an initiative by a teacher. A teacher identified the problem and he or she came to the solution that, okay, this can also be done. And this was communicated through students, through personal meetings to the parents that, okay, agar aapke paas kitabein hain to usko dijiye. Then the local bodies came into play, like the sarpanch, the panchayat, the block education officers we have. They also supported the teachers. And then it became a community movement. So that's how the teacher getting to the community and then community coming back to the teacher helped to move this. And one thing I would like to add, as you mentioned, that problem across might not be the same. But if you see, the problem is somewhat similar in different manner. So the beauty of this program is that an idea which is implemented in Khar or maybe Thar Desert in Gujarat or Jaipur can be replicated and implemented in one of the in Dimapur in Nagaland, to very precisely to say that, and they can make changes to it. That is also a part of the program.
Okay, now as we are addressing the northeast states, and you have just referred me that you are also taking care of those particular areas. I've also seen that the challenges over there are comparatively more considering the terrain they are part of, and that we also have certain political matters that keep on coming up now and then. So my broader area is that how do you operate? How do this organization operates in helping out teachers? So what is the operational structure that you carry on? What are the number of trainings you conduct, and how does the exchange of information happens? So how is this structuring carried out throughout India? Because you're talking about covering up schools pan India, which is a big number, I must admit. So how is the complete operational process running around over here?
So I'll come into some facts and figures. Like till date, we have oriented more than 21 lakh teachers across the country. And if we talk about the ideas, we have got more than 16 lakh ideas with us from the teachers. And currently, we have got published around 40 books of 1600 best practices in the country. And just to add, not only the government teachers, this ZIIEi, we have come up with a program called Teacher Innovation Award, which is our online platform where the teachers can submit their ideas. Now when we talk about how we operationally execute it, we have got one state head in every state or the union territory. And we have got trainers as per the requirement, which are thoroughly trained, oriented by us. And we don't call this as a training session. We do it as an orientation session. So we request teachers what kind of practices they can submit. We inform them. There's a form which they can fill. And then we have got a jury which is sitting at a central office in Puducherry, Sri Aurobindo Society, which is a Puducherry-based organization. And would like to add that Sri Aurobindo Society is among those organizations, not-for-profit organizations in the country, which have been honored by a tag of national importance by the government of India, because we are into research like AIIMS, IIM, IIT. So we are into research of educational research. So we are of that importance as well. So these trainers, they contact the district and the local block officers or the zone officers, and we get these sessions conducted. Their teachers submit their ideas offline or online. We submit them, and later on they are compiled in a book called the Book of Best Practices. हिंदी में हम उसे कहते हैं Navachar Pustika, and this comes something like this, which I showed you earlier. If you can see, this is the book, and this book is made of every state. And then we have a national book called Teacher Innovation Award, which is a national platform. And these teachers, once selected, are honored by Honorable MHRD Minister and other authorities at the state and then at the national level in Delhi. And you would be surprised and happy to know that in this March, 1st and 2nd, but 1,000 teachers were honored at one place from across 36 states and UTs in India by the Honorable MHRD Minister, sir, by Sri Aurobindo Society. So this program, the beauty is that everybody comes under the umbrella and they are free to submit anything and everything related to education, not only pedagogy or academic. If you have something related to non-academic thing, how to get your school more connected to the people, how to get out of this. You don't have a furniture, how do you tackle that? You don't have electricity, how do you tackle that? So this is how it has been working across now.
I love this concept when you're talking about that. We just talk about academics, we are talking about the basic nitty-gritties, because most of the time I am highly disappointed when we are talking about going to the global level and then we don't even have basic resources that are in for our students. So yes, and that is actually answering my question when I asked you that, are you taking care of something at troubleshooting at the local level or not? And I'm amazed to know that how you people are doing it. Now, Shashank, when you're talking about this book and this whole concept, so is it also published at in local languages, or you people are just publishing it in English and Hindi for now, the best practices book?
Just to start, we started it English because that is a common language which is acceptable everywhere. But the state book is published in a local language, and not only the state book, all the books are now getting converted. Our team is working round the clock on it, and they are converting all the books into desired languages and the local state-wise. So like Kerala, a book for Kerala is published in Malayalam, but it is also at a national level, it is also available in English. A UP book is available in Hindi, but in English, and then we are trying to convert in other languages as well, so that everybody is benefited out of it. And this is available at a website. Anybody can download that on ZIIEi.com. So that is available for all the teachers. And this, just to add, this Teacher Innovation Award is not only for government teachers. Teachers from private like CBSE, ICSE, IB board, or even the private institutions can participate, submit their best practices idea. Not only the government teachers. This ZIIEi platform is for everybody and anybody who wants to contribute to the quality education towards zero investment.
So teachers who are actually taking up part of the private education system, and if you think that you're deprived of this opportunity to exchange your knowledge with the world, you have the knowledge, they have the platform, you can get well connected. So that's a takeaway tip, I would say, that you can always get connected and you can share your practices, because knowledge is something which is to be shared, and if you just want to possess it, you will miss an opportunity to share it with the people at global level, which can carry it forward to generations and generations. Now, Shashank, when we were last discussing things and I got to know more about the work you are performing and the work your organizations are doing, you also allowed me to know that you're working with 16 countries. Globally, the complete concept of zero investment education. I want to know more about one, at what level you people are working, and second, are you just working with the developing countries or underdeveloped sections, educating them, or we also have sections of developed countries who are contributing, or maybe we are contributing into their knowledge bank as a society? So how we are running this whole operational at global level?
Very well asked question. I would say it's not only developed, underdeveloped, or developing countries. Education is everywhere. If you go to Kenya, you go to Nairobi, you go to Geneva, the difference is there. But everybody is keen to give education to their kids, which are coming up, which is very important. So for the other countries apart from India, like I'll take some examples: Myanmar, Nepal, Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, Syria, to be very open. We are taking the ideas through ZIIEi portal. That's Teacher Innovation Award, which I say. They can log into ZIIEi.com and they can submit their ideas. There is no registration process, no money involved, nothing is involved. They just have to create their login for themselves, which is very easy, by their phone number, and they can submit their ideas. And we were planning to have a major big international event, but because of this lockdown, we were not able to do that. But soon, and very soon, we might be reaching all these countries through our representatives, and also we'll be calling those teachers in India as an exchange program where teachers from India or other countries will be exchanging their ideas through Sri Aurobindo Society, through this platform, and supporting the quality education by all means through zero investment.
I think I would love an invite for the same whenever this happens, to be part of it. Okay, so Shashank, you have allowed us to know a lot about the practices you are doing in zero investment, because we can meet at the platform and we can discuss about maybe 2 or 3 practices at max, but getting hold of a complete knowledge bank, a complete resource which you can utilize, and maybe you can pick up something which you can apply at your own age, is something I believe the organization is giving us. And I am quite pleased that I have you today in my session, so that I can get this information and let my viewers know that there is something like zero investment in education which you can utilize. So I would like to end up this session on a question that I want to ask you. I want to know 3 of the best practices from you that you have till now observed in all the sessions you have been part of, and all the all the best practices that you have seen till date. And I know that there's a collection of books that you have, and it's quite difficult to actually pick up top 3. But I still want to know, what are your top favorite 3 practices that you feel can make a change and it's easily affordable?
Yes. First, what I would say is Bal Sansad, or the Child Parliament. Now, this is very similar. It is very similar to the concept we have in a constitution. But the difference is that it is owned by the student and run by the students. So they are developing leadership skills. The hesitation is getting decreased. Teachers are, the students are finding a problem and discussing, getting a solution to it. First. Second, the future invasion. भविष्य सृजन हम उसे कहते हैं. अब मुझसे ये सवाल पूछा जाता है कि क्लास 4th और 5th के बच्चे को क्या पता है कि वो डॉक्टर बनेगा नहीं बनेगा. बट अगर हम बचपन से, मतलब बहुत अर्ली स्टेज से, अगर हम उसके अंदर वो क्वालिटी, वो चीजें इनबिल्ड कर दें, वो बीज बो दें, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो डॉक्टर नहीं बनेगा, लेकिन कंपाउंडर या नर्स तो बन ही सकता है. It's a very example. So teacher is using this. They are getting a kit, a white coat, a small doctor's kit in this school, and they're giving responsibility. Shashank, you want to become a doctor? So ये तुम्हारी जिम्मेदारी, जब भी किसी को चोट लगेगी तो ये लेके तुम आओगे. So this is how they are developing a responsibility and a future invasion. And third, the most important, which I learned and understand is very important for everybody, is to develop the cognitive skills in a student, is Kala Shilp se Sarvangeen Vikas. That is using the waste material, art and craft, to develop every bit and pit of a student. Whether he is differentially able, a child with special need, he's a normal student. So when you use these art and craft skills with your subject, connected to your subject, you develop all the cognitive skills of a student. And those 3 for me are very close to me, and I like them much. So all 1600 are there, but I think these 3 are most and more closer to me, I say.
Okay, so I loved all the peaks and sneaks you have given us, and I'm also looking up to a session we are planning in future with having these teachers on our panel. So viewers, we are planning sessions with global educators and these teachers with amazing practices, part of a single panel, and also discussing state-wise issues with the various teachers in various states and learning from their practices and just sharing the same with all of you. So I hope you all have learned being part of the session. Please leave your comments in case you want certain best practices to be followed. You have the website link, and if Shashank, can you just share the link again, if you can say the name of the link again, so that if somebody is interested, can note it down for us.
Yes, the link, the website is www.ZIIEi.com. Or I will just add one thing, that because there was a problem, people were not able to implement this. And if those who want to implement and find, we have got an app on Play Store for Android version. We have got an app which is called ZIIEi. This is the app, you can say. And this app has got all the curriculum from CBSE, ICSE, NCERT, all the state boards mapped with many activities. Almost, I would say, 900 activities have been mapped with every chapter. So teachers across the globe can download this app, ZIIEi, and they can get the benefit out of it also. And this is called Innovative Pathshala. We have got a program, Innovative Pathshala. So this is also, they can take it.
I think, Shashank, we need to have a separate session on each and every resource that we have, and we can share it with people for sure. And when he is talking about having this app, I would like everybody to know that the major challenge most of the educators face, that there is a bulk of resources and activities out there. but it's so difficult to pick up the best activity which will match your curriculum and embed it as part of the learning process and the curriculum process. So here we have a complete bank which is already mapped with the boards, and you just have to go there in the app and you have to pick up the best activity and make it part of your lesson planning. So I, being more into the teacher training front, maybe I feel that this can be a very good initiative in exchanging that information. So thank you, Shashank. Thank you for being part of the session today. Thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward for further sessions that we are planning in next week and weeks further for sure to go ahead with. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. And just to end with this for everybody, all the educators, innovation only happens when you believe in your ideas. So keep believing and being with Sri Aurobindo Society, keep submitting your ideas through MAM, to Surbi or other things, so that we can help other educators and the teachers to understand the importance of zero investment through which we are doing through Sri Aurobindo Society. Because tomorrow coming up, we only need experiential learning, and that is the need of the hour. And this is without investment if you have something experiential learning. And I think Sri Aurobindo Society is doing a tremendous job, and I'm happy being a part of this. I'm blessed to be a part of this initiative from last 5 years, and I believe this is going to change the world. As I said, Shunya se Shikhar tak.
Thank you, Shashank. I think being with you today over here, we all have become part of the society, because it's more being a part. You don't have to work into that organization. You just have to learn from the experiences and implement them in your daily practices. So I'm pretty sure many of the teachers will go ahead and do this bit of a research work, go to the website, go to the app, just share your practices or pick up practices from the best educators you know, and share it with everybody, because knowledge is all about sharing with whatever you have in your hand. Thank you very much, and hope to see you again. Thank you, viewers.
Sure.